Last year, a Toronto lawyer decided to donate the coffee money he saved during Ramadan to a local food bank. Others who were also fasting caught on to this idea, and it culminated with close to $40,000 being given to the Daily Bread Food Bank. So with the campaign, which is called Give 30, it is now expanding across Canada. And the founder of Give 30, Ziyaad Mia, joins us now from Toronto's Daily Bread Food Bank. With him, Michele Erskine, who is also getting involved in this. So both of you, welcome. Thank you very much for speaking with us. You are at the Daily Bread Food Bank there. Ziyaad, can you give us an idea of what the inspiration is here with Ramadan and raising money for the food bank?
Reshmi, as you know, Ramadan is a time when people give up food and drink during daylight hours to understand the importance of food, to get closer to their creator, but also to have some social solidarity with those who don't have enough to eat, those who are effectively going without, not voluntarily, but because they just can't buy food. And so no one who's fasting can say they can walk a mile in those people's shoes, but you can walk a few steps. And in understanding that, maybe become more empathetic. And that's how I got the idea, essentially, that you're not eating during Ramadan when you're fasting. That's money saved. So why don't you redirect that money? And for people who are not Muslim or who aren't fasting, you can bring your lunch or do some other kind of notional or real behavioral change and redirect that money. So this is really open to people of every faith, no faith, whatever you are. Everyone in this country is welcome to participate.
That's great. And Michele, you are participating, right? We're halfway through Ramadan. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing pretty well. It's hard to track exact amount given because you can donate online, which a lot of people are opting for. But it's been well embraced at the office. We participated last year as well. And this year rolled out to another of our offices in Calgary because the program rolled out to Calgary and Edmonton and Quebec. Mm-hmm. So it's got a life of its own now.
What's harder, fasting or fundraising?
Well, I don't know, but they're both pretty tough. Fundraising while fasting, sometimes it's a little bit more efficient because you don't spend time going to lunch or cooking food or doing any of that, so you get a lot more free time on your hands. But you do get a dry mouth, as I have now, speaking to you.
Yeah, well, and Michele, you were mentioning that people at work are participating, so I guess people are also learning about Ramadan through this.
Yes, it's been really nice that way. I mean, I heard Ziyaad interviewed last year on CBC radio and just really liked that he wanted to open up to all faiths. But it does also provide an opportunity to talk about and understand more about those who are observing Ramadan, and I think that that is great in a diverse workplace like ours.
Mm-hmm. And Ziyaad, how do you feel about that? I mean, what kind of response are you getting from people?
The response, Reshmi, I have to say, it's basically floored me. Last year was amazing. I just had this little idea, and there's no harm in trying, so I tried it. I was shocked meeting people like Michele. I had not known Michele before. I met her through this process. This story is replicated over and over again. Very positive, a lot of bridges being built, people just coming together, understanding what Ramadan is all about, which is important. But the bigger picture is understanding that there are people in this country that don't have. We're a very prosperous society, but there are still people who don't have food to eat. I mean, you see behind me people are donating food. This place exists because there are hungry people. This facility is replicated across country, and that's some of the partner food banks we have. The Quebec Association of Food Banks just joined this week. That's 18 food banks all across the province of Quebec, Edmonton, Calgary. So there's an interest. I think the simplicity of this idea that you make a little behavioral change and you can make a difference, everybody can participate. I think that the barriers are low. So I think there's a potential to grow, and it's big. And from, as a Muslim, the perspective of sharing Ramadan with everybody else, bringing something to the table as a Canadian that's positive, has been very impressive.
Yeah, well, I'm picking up on building bridges and positive because, I mean, frankly, when we do talk about Islam in the news, it's not a very positive light, is it?
That's correct. I mean, by and large, not in all cases, but there are stories that present negative images of Islam, and some of that is rightly associated with people who profess the faith, and some of it is not. People are leveraging that for their political ends. So it's a mixed bag, but yes, you're right. Islam, if you mention Islam, sometimes negative stereotypes may come up. And as well with fasting, people might say, oh, you're Ramadan, that's when you starve yourself. So I want to change that to Ramadan. That's a time when you help those who don't have, because that's essentially what it is. The going without is just part of the process. So what, this small thing, I think, has just opened a door for people to have a conversation. The mayor of Newark, Cory Booker, is an amazing guy. I'll paraphrase a great quote he has about religion and God. He says, "Don't tell me about your God or religion, show me." And that's essentially what I'm trying to do here, is to say, we can talk all about Islam is about peace, it is. But let's show what it is in action, and that's essentially what, in a small way, what Give 30 is doing.
And Michele, I have to say, I've fasted for a few days, but I cannot do 30. How would you encourage other people to do this?
Well, it's pretty easy to get involved. You can just make a donation on the website. We just set up a cash donation box in our offices so that people that want to can donate that way. But it's as easy as just making a donation online, or every little bit helps.
Right, because it is a slow season for the food banks in the summertime.
Yeah, I think that's great that it's happening in July. I mean, they have a real need, and this is helping there.
Great. Thank you both for joining us. All the best.
Thank you, Reshmi.
Thank you. That is the founder of Give 30, Ziyaad Mia, and Give 30 participant, Michele Erskine at the Toronto Daily Food Bank. We have your national weather forecast coming up after the break. Stay with us.